Okay, so if you guys can find your space, tonight's class is all about creating space within our body and also outside of our body. So creating space and taking up space is really what I want to try and give to you guys tonight. So for me, taking up space is all about, really coming into your own, okay? So if you can stand with quite wide legs, first of all, the toes are going to be pointing out to 10 to 2 on a clock. Let me just spotlight myself for everyone, I've just realised. Yeah. Okay, so you're taking your feet out to a 10 to 2 on a clock. Now I want you to really get some length through the spine. As soon as you start to raise up nice and tall through all of your joints within your spine, your core muscles should switch on straight away. Sorry, just got one more added to the live tonight. All right, so let your arms just rest down by your sides. Obviously we don't usually stand like this, but think about your posture from the hips up. We want the legs to be really long, but don't lock the knees out, okay? Think about taking the weight more to the outer borders of the feet, and then just relax the arms and just see where they lay. Do they come in front of you, to the side, doesn't matter where. But if they are coming out in front of you, you might want to think about just taking your shoulders a little bit wider, okay? So again, reach up nice and tall through the spine. Close down your eyes. Can you keep your balance in this position? Deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth, and just let everything just melt away. All the tension that you're holding in your shoulders or your neck. In through the nose, out through the mouth. And guys, try not to breathe into your chest too much. I want you to take up that space in your belly and your rib cage. Let the rib cage organically move out to the side, and then obviously it will come back in as you exhale. Okay, deep breath in and exhale. So we'll practice that breathing for a moment before we go any further. So you can keep your eyes closed or flutter them open. If you take your hands just to wrap them around your rib cage. Okay, relax the shoulders, take a deep breath in once again, and feel that the rib cage is actually expanding into the hands as wide as possible. As you exhale, it's just softly coming back to where it naturally goes. Okay, deep breath in. And notice if you're holding any tension in the eyebrows or the jaw. Okay, maybe you're holding tension in the glutes or the legs somewhere. Can you relax that? Hopefully your body feels quite equal as you're just in this upright standing space. The shoulders are nicely relaxed. 2 more deep breaths. Just get a slight gentle lift up through the pelvic floor muscles. So nothing too hard with that lift, and we're not squeezing the bum as we take the pelvic floors up. I've mentioned pelvic floors a couple of times during the class today as well. And as you exhale for the last time, if you do still have your eyes shut, if you just flutter them open, and then if you guys can take your hands just to your chest, okay? So your thumbs are going to rest onto your chest bone, and your longest finger, your index finger, is just going to rest on your chin. Take a deep breath in, grow as tall as you can up towards the ceiling. Imagine you're shooting a light out through the crown of your head. As you breathe out, you're going to rotate the chest towards the right-hand side. Inhale, bring it back to center, and exhale the chest to the left-hand side. Inhale, center, exhale. Just do a few more of these. We'll start waking up the spine a little bit. And just keep your chin guided with the hands in line with the chest. As you inhale, it's a full breath into the rib cage, and as you exhale, feel yourself wrapping through the core as you turn and rotate. So we want to use the core muscles to actually circle around. And in addition to that, as you rotate and use your full exhale, can you feel as if you're spiraling up towards the ceiling as well? Okay, we'll do 2 more of these after this one. Good, last one, guys. Rotate round, bring it back into center. Close the elbows together, lift the hands up, take a deep breath in, keep the elbows as close together for as long as you can before you raise up and circle all the way around. Okay, remember we're taking up space today, so I want you to really think about lifting out of your kind of comfort zone. So edge into the space either side of you. Inhale, we lift. Exhale, circle around. Okay, so it's not just your arms that are creating this space next to you, it's your rib cage as well. So as you're taking your arms up and over your head, you're actually giving your ribs more chance to expand and take in more breath. Good. Work the chest a little bit by keeping the elbows together for as long as you can. Good. And then on the next one, we're going to rotate round to the left-hand side. So turn the chest to the left, reach your arms out to the side and rotate back to the center. Meet the hands together again. Inhale, we lift. Exhale, circle all the way around and then bring it back to the center. Good, and lift. We're gradually going to start to add on a few more layers to this movement. Good, and lift. So the next time we go over to the left-hand side, you guys are going to stay in that rotated position and you're going to nod the chin, peel through the spine, reach down towards that left foot. You're going to lift your arms, lift your head, chest, and raise up nice and tall and rotate back to center before you circle the arms all the way around again. Meet the hands together. Inhale, lift. Exhale, circle round, nod the chin, reach for that right foot. Now peel through the spine, lift the arms, lift the head, the chest, make it a chain reaction, and then circle all the way around. Good, meet the hands back together. Inhale, circle, nod the chin, peel through the spine. Keep your knees unlocked if you have got them locked, so just watch for that. Open. Find the movement from the spine, so let the spine do a little bit of work and the muscles around it. Nod the chin, peel, and arms, head, chest, and lift up and circle all the way around. Good. On the next one, it's going to be slightly different because as you rotate round to the left-hand side, you might want to watch this for a second, but you bend the right knee, nod the chin, and reach for the left foot. Hold on to the left foot and just get that inner thigh hamstring stretch here. Okay, so your thigh might be burning a little bit on that right leg. Find the stretch. It's going to be pulling around the shoulder blade as well. Good. Straighten the right leg. Take yourself to center. Soften the knees and roll back up this time into the center. Couple of shoulder rolls. We take the hands together. We lift up. Circle all the way around. So as we go to that right leg, we bend into the left knee, roll down. Good. Can we bend into the knee anymore and reach toward the foot a little bit further? Big stretch here. Now take up that space. How can you, encourage yourself to stretch a little bit further? Straighten that knee and then come to center. Soften the knees, roll back up. Good, couple of shoulder rolls. We'll do one more of those each side. So inhale, we take it up. Exhale, circle to the left, nod the chin, reach down towards the left foot, bending the right knee, holding it there, feeling into that stretch. And then straightening both legs, coming to center, soften the knees and raise back up, stacking through the spine. Good, hopefully we should be nice and warm now. Inhale, lift. Circle round to the right, nod the chin, peel the spine, left knee bends, and we reach down towards the right foot. Straighten the leg, bring it back to center, again soften the knees and raise back up. Good, and again a couple of circles with the shoulders. And then if you just step in so that the legs are hip width apart, okay? We're just gonna have a little turn onto the mat, so we've got a little runway in front of us. Lift up through the arms, inhale, open the chest bone, and then as you exhale, nod the chin for me and roll down. Again, just unlock the knees and allow your arms and head to just let gravity take hold and create some space in the back of the neck. You'll feel the back of the knees and hamstrings stretch here. And if your hands can reach the floor, great. If they can't, then don't worry too much about it. But bend the left knee and lift the right hand up and rotate out. As much as you can, pull the shoulder blades together. Bring that right hand down, straighten the left knee, bend the right knee and lift and open the left arm and chest. Pull the shoulder blades together and then bring it back down. Walk your hands forward and then place the knees down onto the mat, okay? All right, so from here, we want a tabletop-like back, okay? So you don't want to be jumping down into the areas here. Again, just referring back to that taking up space, we want to shoot the light out of the crown of the head and just imagine your sit bones are shooting lights like a car headlights, okay? So if you're facing down, and if you rounded like that, car headlights are facing up. We want them to face straight, okay? So pull the shoulders down your back, reach the back of the neck lovely and long, and keep the toes tucked under. Take a deep breath in, and then exhale. Activate your core, pelvic floor muscles and lower abdominals. Press the feet into the floor gently and just feel how that starts to engage your core and your thighs a little bit deeper. And then just relax. Deep breath in again. Exhale, press the feet into the floor. Start to feel how that engages you a little bit deeper. And then inhale and relax. On the next one, we're going to hover the knees away from the mat. So breathing out, pressing down, feeling for the engaging, and then lifting and floating the knees away from the floor. A couple of inches will do. Watch that you haven't lifted your bum too high, okay? It's a little bit more controlled than that. And then lower back down softly with the knees, okay? Inhale again. Exhale, activate the core, lower abs, pelvic floor. Fully exhale out and float the knees away from the floor. And then lower back down. So a little added extra here, if you can add this in. I'd like you to feel as if you can pull the mat apart. So almost like you're ripping the mat apart at the center. So you're not physically moving your hands, but you'll feel that the shoulders start to switch on here, okay? Really beautiful for posture. So inhale once again, rip the mat apart. As you exhale, press the feet into the floor and float the knees away from the mat. Inhale, hold it here. And as you exhale, rotate the knees over towards the right hand side. Keep your chest facing down, just turn the knees. Inhale, bring it back to center. Exhale, rotate the knees towards the left hand side and bring it back to center. Again, rotate towards the right. Inhale, center. Exhale, rotate towards the left. Bring it back to center. Lower back down. Have a little bit of a rest. I feel like that one's shockingly hard when it doesn't look like it. So again, I'm going to go 2 more times. So right, left, as we take the knees away from the floor. Okay, deep breath in. Exhale, pressing gently into the feet. Pelvic floor is active. Lower abdominals, wrap the core and float. Inhale to hold. Exhale, rotate towards your right hand side. Remember, chest faces down, head faces down. And then you bring it back in on the inhale. Exhale, rotate. Watch that you're not taking all of the weight towards the hands. Bring it back. 1 more time each way. Keep it controlled, guys. Bring it back. Exhale. And then take it to center, float the knees back down. Well done. Untuck the toes for me, and then press the hips back into a child's pose position. I want you to reach the hands as far forward as you can. Maybe you want to circle the wrists or something. That's okay. So round the spine, lift the belly away from the thighs and come into this cat stretch. You're going to go into your cow stretch here. So lift the tailbone, lift the head, the chest reaches upwards, and then you're just going to press the hips back. Okay, we're going to go into a little bit of a flow here. So round the spine, into your cat stretch, raise up, taking the weight to the hands a little bit, and then open the chest, and then sink back. Good. Breathe. Inhale. And then exhale, melt and sit back. So it's a really nice way of just moving through the spine. But let's see whether you can just, find the articulation to lift the tailbone, drop the lower back, drop the belly, lift the chest, sink back. We tuck the tailbone under, nod the chin and raise back up. Lift the tailbone, press back, and round to lift. So come back into an even position. We're going to do the same flow again, but if you just take your right hand above the left hand. Press back, feel a little stretch over towards that right hand side of the back. Round the spine, take the weight to the hands, drop the shoulders, lift the tailbone, press back. Inhale, round. Exhale, press back. We're doing one more this side, then we'll switch over. Good. And then switch the hands. Reach the left hand above the right hand, raise up, and take it back. Good. Two more. Last one. Good. And then even out the hands. You're going to raise yourself up, tuck the toes under, take the hands a tiny bit further forward, and you're going to lift yourself into a quick downward dog position. So we're going to go with another one of those flows. You might have to just adjust yourself a little bit while you go into it, but think about how we just went through that spinal flow. So we're going to lift the bum up towards the ceiling into your downward dog. Press the hands forward and away and open the chest. Allow the heels to drop down towards the mat. You're going to lift the heels first, tuck the tailbone under, round the spine, and then follow into your plank position. Lift the tailbone and then reach and push into the hands forward and away. The heels draw down. So we lift the heels round through the spine, take the weight forwards to the hands, into your plank, but then you lift the tailbone, push the hands forward and away, back into your downward dog. Heels draw down. Lift the heels, round through the spine, and then lower the heels, lift the tailbone. One more, guys. Lift the heels, round the spine, take the weight to the hands this time. Can you find your plank? Push the heels back down towards the floor. I want you to tuck your tailbone under, okay? Lift your chest bone and rotate the heels towards the right hand side, okay? So you're just turning the heels, similar to what we did with the knees earlier, but just the heels. Bring them back to center. Exhale, rotate the heels to the left hand side. Bring it back to center. One more time each way. And then tilt over. Whichever way helps you face me, that's the way that I want you to go, because you're going to lift up and open into this side plank. Take the feet to the floor, knees to the floor, and hips to the floor. And you're ending up in this side position, okay? So we're going to go up, back into that side plank. If anyone does feel a little bit like it's maybe too hard, especially on your wrists, come down onto your elbow and then just place the knees together, okay? So your option is just this, all right? Those of you who want a little bit more of a challenge, you're going to come into this position, okay? Reach the arm over. All right, shoulders down, lengthen tall through the spine. Take a deep breath in for me. And as you exhale, lift up into that space above your head. Press the knees together as if you're squashing a watermelon. Lift up and over, side stretch. And then we take it down and then bring the hips back down to the floor. Okay? Nice and soft. Deep breath in. We've got 2 more. Exhale. Shoot diagonally up and over. Squeeze those thighs together. Bring it back and then gently sit back down. Good. Inhale. A lot of shoulder strength needed here. Exhale, lift up and over. Lovely. Bring it back into the side plank and then take it back down. Well done. So you're all going to go down onto your elbow now. Your hand is going to rotate forward. So rather than like this, it's going to be facing forwards. And you're going to press the top leg out, okay? Try and make it so that it's in line with the top hip. And just drop into your shoulder for a second. But I don't want you to ever do that again. So press back up. So make sure that you're never dropping into the shoulder, okay? We're going to keep that lovely postural position and strength through the shoulder muscles. Just pop your hand around your rib cage. I want you to just lift up and kind of elevate it, okay? The heel is reaching away. Have a little look. Is your hip open? And is the leg nicely lifted, or is it dropping down towards the floor? Okay, so we're going to lower the leg down, tap the foot, and then exhale, lift. So the idea behind this is that the leg moves on its own. It's disassociated from the body, okay? The rib cage is lifted. You're not dropping in the shoulder. So we can really zone into the hip moving right into the socket where it's at. Okay, lift, inhale down, exhale. And then exhale, lift up this time, hold it there for me, reach it longer, flex the foot, take this top hand all the way around to the back of the head. So we're going to start to swing the leg forwards, reach the heel, point the toes and swing it back. Good. Try not to let the rib cage drop or the shoulder drop, swing it back. Remember, we're taking that space up, and that is, even in this exercise when we're being still, we're taking up space because we're allowed to be here. So swing it forward, swing it back. And then we're going to add in the elbow. So as you take your leg back on the next one, top elbow reaches forward. As you swing the leg forward, rotate the chest and open. Keep that leg as long as possible. I know you're feeling it through the hip. Keep going, open and forward. Good, take it open and forward. Good, last 2. Ooh, and last 1. Lovely. And then bring everything back into alignment. Lower the leg down. You're going to take yourself into a mermaid sit. So take your legs into this like Z sit and lift up and over. Good. Take a deep breath in. And then if you exhale, just reach a little bit further for me. Let the hip bones sink down towards the floor and go a smidgen further. Reach this arm up and then take it slightly behind you. The other arm, the free arm, is going to circle forwards and press the hip up and open through the chest and hip and belly. You're really stretching your belly here. Take it back down. Inhale, open. And then exhale, lower back down. One more for me, guys. And then bring it back. Okay. This leg that's just furthest away from us, if you swing it around and just have a nice good stretch into the glute area. Hug the knee if you want to. Good. Try and bring the sit bone back down to the floor. Just grow a little bit taller if you can. Nice deep breaths. Good. And then we're going to swap over to the other side. So if you just take your legs over to the other side, we're actually going to do this one in reverse order. Okay, so if you take your legs into, we'll have a little glute stretch later, but if you take your legs into your mermaid position again, we're going to reach up and over. Again, try and get the sit bones down towards the floor and lengthen over a little bit more. Reach into this space here, and then take it up, float and cartwheel over, take the hand slightly behind you, swing the arm around in a circle, lift and open up through the hips and the belly, and then take it back down. Inhale, we lift, and exhale back down. Inhale, one more, and exhale, bring it back down. Good. And then we're going to take the elbow down onto the floor, okay? We press the hip out and away, okay? This elbow is just underneath the shoulder. You're pressing the elbow into the floor. And this leg is opened through the front of the hip flexor, okay? Just wrap your hand underneath the rib cage. Just give you a little lift here. Okay, suspend that rib cage up there. And then we're going to lower the leg. Exhale and lift it. Now, if you're reaching the leg as long as possible, all of the muscles have to work to help support around the hip, okay? So if you're shortening your leg and just kind of lifting and lowering it without, intending on the length, you're missing out, okay? Press. You might as well do an exercise well if we're going to do it. We like long limbs. Lift up and lower and lift. And we're lifting as high as we can without dropping into the rib cage. Good. One more. And just hover it in line with the hip. The top arm is going to wrap all the way around the back of the head. And then start to swing the leg forward, reach long, point the toes, bring it back. Try not to move. Keep the stability here for this first part. Good, so the leg is just moving on its own. Core is very strong. Good, give me more length, guys. And then we're going to start to add the elbow in. So as the leg goes back, the elbow reaches forward. Swing the leg forward, we take the elbow back. And then elbow reaches forward as the leg swings back. And then forward and back. Good, two more. And open. Exhale, rotate. Last one, open. Good, and then bring it back to center. Lower the leg back down, bend the knee, perfect. A little side stretch over. And then if you just take this furthest leg away from us, wrap it all the way around. And then just hug the knee in, okay? Try and get the hip to the floor if it's not too tight. It might take a while to get there. Good. Deep breaths. And then we'll take the hand onto the floor, uncross the legs. So you've got two options. Those of you who want the lower option, elbow on the floor, knees together, okay? And then you just lift up and lower, okay? Otherwise, the slightly higher option is going to be where we just bring the ankles together. One foot is flat on the floor, the bottom leg is on its side, okay? So we're raising up. Remember, we're shooting outwards in a diagonal line. So take the arm out, lengthen, okay? Create the intention of taking that space up. Deep breath in. As you exhale, engage the core muscles. Think of the inner thighs pulling together to squash a grapefruit, and then go up and over into a big side bend. Bring it up and lower back down. Okay, keep the space. Inhale. Exhale. Inner thighs pull together. Lift up and over, side bend, and then bring it back. Good, deep breath in. Exhale. Big side bend. Lift that rib cage up towards the ceiling and lower. We've got one more. This one's going to take us back into our plank position. So as you come up and over here, just transition, take the hand onto the floor and circle the knees and hips back down to the mat. Okay? You're going to push the hands forward and away. Maybe you need to walk your feet slightly forward, that's fine. Into your downward dog. So try and be active through the shoulders, pushing forward and away. Don't move the upper body. You're going to bring the knees down, bend them twice, and then straighten the legs. Okay? So notice how I'm not moving my shoulders and coming out of position there. It's just the legs that are coming down, bend, bend, and then lift. We're going to jump forward in a second. If you don't want to jump, then just walk forward, okay? So bend, bend, and then we jump forward, and then we take ourselves down onto our bottom, okay? I'm just going to tilt the camera so you guys can see me a little better. Perfect. Okay, so from here, take your legs out slightly wider than your mat, okay? If you don't have a mat, it's just slightly wider than the shoulders. Now, if you can, try and get into this really tall line through your spine. If you find this really difficult because your hips are too tight, or maybe hamstrings, then sit on something, grab some blocks and just prop yourself up, okay? You are going to try and, it's up to you, if you want to flex the feet, fine. If you want to point the toes, that's also absolutely fine. I don't really mind, or if you want to keep them relaxed, that's okay. So if you just reach the arms up towards the ceiling, hug the shoulders up towards the earlobes, and pull the shoulders back down and take your arms forwards, okay? Lift up, grow a little bit taller, raise your arms, and then lower the arms back down. Inhale, lift, and then exhale and lower, okay? We're going to do that again in a second, but while you're here, take an inhale, and as you exhale, just hinge from the hips and reach forward. Keep your spine nice and tall, and then raise back up again, okay? Flexing your feet is just going to give you a better stretch through the hamstrings. Just works a little bit more down the whole back line of your body, so do that if that's something you need to work on. Good, and lift. And on this next one, you're going to take yourself as far forward as you feel comfortable to go. I say comfortable just so that it's not painful, okay? Maybe you have to go into a little bit of discomfort. Now I want you to lift your chest bone upwards, okay? Lift your tailbone upwards. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, float the arms up next to your ears. If you can bring them closer to your ears, great. And then lower back down. Exhale. Remember that light shining out through the crown of the head. Shine it brighter by reaching taller. Lift the arms. Bring it back. Good. Last time. Lift the arms and then bring it back. We need to round the spine here and then start to lower yourself back to about halfway. Point the toes, hold it here, and as you exhale, use the core muscles. You're going to take one leg back into center and then bring the other leg into center. Lift yourself up, reach forward, up and over an imaginary beach ball that's resting on your thighs, and then we stack the spine back up again, okay? So take your hands down onto the floor. You can either go next to you. The harder version is when they're in front. The easier version is when they're behind, okay? So if you really need to, you can sink back slightly, but otherwise I'd like you to stay as lifted as possible. So flex your feet, heels reach away. Exhale, core activates, pelvic floor. Float one leg away from the mat. Inhale and lower. Exhale, float the other leg away from the mat. If we've got any dancers in the group tonight, you guys are probably going to be absolutely fine with this. It's one thing that I find so hard. So it's about trying to just create a little bit more of that thigh core connection. And sometimes pressing your hands into the floor a little bit deeper. If you do that without doing the legs, press the hands down into the floor, you'll actually feel your core switch on harder. So that can be a little bit of assistance for you if you need it. My legs are shaking. Good. Okay, one more right and left. Good, and then bring it back down. Take your arms out in front, point the toes, tuck the tailbone under, round through the spine, and slowly lower yourself back down onto the mat. Not all the way though, you're going to go to about bra strap level. Take your arms up, interlace the fingers, take the hands to the back of the head. Try not to lower yourself down here, okay? Take a deep breath in. As you breathe out, bring one leg into a tabletop position. Press the lower back to the floor just a little bit more, and then bring the other leg into a double leg tabletop. Reach your arms forward, lift yourself up just a little bit higher, and then take the knees and the feet together, return the hands to the back of the head. As you breathe out the next time, rotate the chest to the outside of the left leg. Bring it back to center without dropping. Exhale, rotate to the right side. Inhale, bring it back to center. Exhale, left side. So you're just doing this little seesaw from side to side. How much are you using your neck? Can you let the hammock of your hands just take the weight of your head? Good. Well done, guys. Bring it back to center after you've been over to the right hand side on that last one. And lower down through the head, neck and shoulders. Let everything melt to the floor apart from the legs. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, use your abdominal muscles. Tilt the knees over towards the left hand side. And then bring them back up again using the core muscles. Okay, so watch out that you don't start to hunch your shoulders or press the hands and arms into the floor. You're going to tilt over to the other side, over to that right side, and then bring it back. How far can you go without toppling? Exhale, rotate. Inhale, pull it back in. Exhale, rotate. So you can either stay here, or I challenge you to add the next bit in. So if you take yourself up into that chest lift again, arms reach forward to the back of the thighs, lift yourself back up. Hands to the back of the head once again. As you rotate your chest towards the left side, tilt your knees towards the right side. Bring it to center. Exhale, rotate the knees towards the left as you take the chest to the outside of the right thigh. Bring it to center. Rotate. How far can you go? Can you push it a little bit further for me? Bring it back. Rotate. Well done, guys. Get that mid-spine moving and that core really working hard. Good. Bring it back to the center after that last one. Lower the head, shoulders down. Take the hands away and wrap them just around the shins and pull the knees in. Well done. Ooh. Okay, so this is one of my favorite exercises, Pilates exercises, the roll over, okay? So what I'd like you guys to do is take your hands down onto the floor. You're pressing them down into the mat just for a bit more stability here, okay? Keep the knees and feet together. Reach the legs down or long into a diagonal line, okay? You're going to lift yourself up. I want you to just try and focus on just peeling the coccyx away from the floor and press your hands down. And then you're going to lower back into that very slight angled position of the legs. Lift up using the abs, a little tuck under to lift the pelvis off the floor, and then take it back down. Okay, just a little bit of prep before we go into the full exercise. Just one more. And then if you bring your knees down into a bent position, Take your feet down to the floor and hip width apart. Inhale, and as you exhale, press your lower back down to the floor, squeeze your bum, your hamstrings, and peel one vertebrae up away from the mat at a time, as if you're peeling a necklace, a pearl necklace off the floor. Okay, make sure the rib cage is down. So this is slightly different to yoga. If Victoria teaches this, that yoga usually actually comes into extension, but I want you guys to activate your core muscles to pull the ribs down and lift the pelvis up, okay? And then lower back down one vertebrae at a time. Segment the spine, create that space in the vertebrae. Come back into a good neutral spine position, and then you peel up and raise up once again into your bridge. So notice here for a moment where your shoulder blades are fixed. I'd like the shoulder blades to feel planted into the mat, okay? Lift up through your pelvic floor muscles. You're going to take the knees and just press the knees together. If you've got a weak pelvic floor, it's a really, really great way of strengthening it. So press the knees together, but keep the bum lifted. Now rock onto the outer borders of the feet and just take the knees wide apart. Okay, I'll turn this way so you can see a little bit better. So we take the knees together so that they press and rock onto the outer borders of the feet so that the knees part away from one another. Bring it back in and press. Make sure that the hips don't drop. You can hold on to them if that's a little bit easier for feedback. And press. And open. And press. Are those knees touching? Every time. Okay, last one then. Take your legs back to hip width apart. Lower back down one vertebrae at a time. And then bring the knees back up into that long line. Okay, if you want to watch this one first, feel free, otherwise follow me. Deep breath in. As you breathe out, the legs come towards you. You peel your spine the same way that we just did, but we're going to reach the legs up and over. Now the legs are long. We've already done this today, but we were in a different position. We were upright. You're going to take the legs as wide as the shoulders, flex the feet, and lower back down one vertebrae at a time. The legs shoot into a diagonal again, and then we start again, okay? So inhale, exhale, peel. Now remember when we were in the bridge, the shoulders want to be in the same position, okay? So you're lifting your sit bones up towards the ceiling, reaching those legs long as you take them shoulder width, flex the feet, reach the heels as long away as possible, and lower back down one vertebrae at a time. We'll go for two more. Good, lifting up through those sit bones. The legs part away, heels reach, and we control it back down. Try and keep the head and shoulders down onto the floor. Remember, you can push into your hands if needs be. Good. Okay, after that last one, take the legs together. Bring the knees into a bent position and just slip your hands underneath the back of the knees. Allow your knees to just part away from one another and let them just hang there, okay? So you're holding onto the back of the thighs. Flex the feet, straighten the legs, reach them as long as possible. Point the toes, bring them up, and then bend the knees again. Widen the knees, flex the feet, straighten the legs, get a good stretch into the inner thighs. Point the toes, lift and bend the knees. Okay, one more. And then bring them in, and then down. And then if you just use this position, rock up a few times, forward and back. Don't worry about using a bit of momentum here. And then we're going to come into a seated position. Wrap the knees back, and then meet me in an not all fours, just onto your knees. Good. Okay, so we're going to raise ourselves up. Take what will be your left leg out to the side, and then we're going to take ourselves into an all fours position. So what I'd like you to do is lift up into your cow stretch, and you'll start to feel a stretch on the inner thighs here, and then push the hips back. Okay, what I want you to feel into this foot is that the outer border of the foot is really pressed into the floor, so you're getting an ankle stretch along the outside. You're going to round the spine. We've done this already earlier today, and then lift up and then push the hips back. So I'll turn to the side so you can see a little bit better. So as we come down, we lift the tailbone. That gives us a deeper stretch into the inner thigh, round the spine, and then we lift and open. Press back. Curl, lift, and press back. Last one. And as you come back into all fours, your left hand, same side as the leg that's extended, is going to reach up and over, circle around, sink the hips back, and then reach forward. Good. Again, take up that space, guys. Reach, circle around. Last one. Perfect. And then take the hands back in. Bring the leg back in, have a second there, and then we'll switch over to the other leg. Okay, so right leg reaches out to the side. We plant the whole sole of the foot into the floor and give ourselves a little stretch to the outside of the ankle. And then we lift the tailbone up, lift the chest, sink the hips back, round the spine, and open again into our cow stretch. Press back, cat stretch. Lift and open. Good. One more. And then once you come back into that all fours position, we'll just go for a few circles here. You can sink back as well. Reach forward, circle. Good. Last one. And then pull the knee in, widen the knees, allow your hips to sink deep into your child's pose stretch. You can rest your hands on top of one another and rest your head onto your hands. Relax the shoulders, deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. A few deep breaths here, guys, just really try and explore how your ribs are opening and pressing gently towards the inner thighs. See whether you can relax your face, your jaw, your shoulders. Maybe you could even relax your bum a bit closer down towards your ankles. And then as you exhale the next time, just roll yourself up into a seated position. If you're comfortable here, stay here. Otherwise, just adjust it. Take your hands to your chest. Let everything melt. I just want you to think about something that you're grateful for to finish the class today. Could be anything. Could be the fact that you're hungry and you're about to eat. That's what I'm grateful for. Deep breath in. And then exhale, let everything go. Well done. And roll the shoulders a couple of times and we'll open the eyes and we'll finish there for the day. I hope everybody feels good after that. But thank you so much for joining me. My hair's everywhere.